Assalamualaikum. Hi guys. In the previous video, we've learned how to draw s orbital and p orbital. Hence, in this video, I'm going to continue how to sketch d orbital. So let's go to the first introduction about d orbital. We know it is represented by the value L equals to 2. So from here, we can determine the m value for d orbital should be from -2, -1, 0, +1, and +2. You can see from here you got 5 different values. It means that it shows 5 orientations. So you can see from here you got 5 different shapes for d orbital because 5 orientations. Next, for the shape of d orbital, it's very special. I'm going to explain one by one. So we have these have 4 loops extending out perpendicular to each other. So we are going to draw in shape of cloverleaf like this. But we have one more d orbital, which is dz square. It has 2 loops extending out, but another one more along the z-axis. It has a torus donut shaped ring, just like this drawing. So now I'm going to explain how to draw the shape of them one by one. So I'm going to separate into 2 parts. The first part is on-axis shape, and the second part is in between shapes. Let's go for on-axis shapes first. We have 2 of them. The first one is dx square minus y square, and the next one we have dz square. So let's draw the first one. This shape, we know that it is on axis x and y. So I'm going to draw step 1, x-axis and y-axis. So we are going to start from there, x-axis and y-axis. So you can see that this is the drawing for step number 1. Make sure you label the axis. And after that, let's continue with the second step. You have to draw the shape on axis. We know that it has a cloverleaf shape. So we are going to draw 4 loops, starting from the center, 1 loop, 2 loops, and then the next loop, and last one. When you draw, just make sure it is symmetrical to one another, or maybe same size for each loop. A bit similar is fine. So let's continue with the next step. You have z-axis, which will be coming through the center. So z-axis, this is the center, it will come through here. So I'm going to draw my axis, which will be coming from here for z-axis. So don't forget to label this one as z-axis. Settle for step 3, and then we are going to continue by shading our d orbitals. So you got, this is the drawing for dx square minus y square, and you can see we got cloverleaf on axis x and axis y. That's why this is on axis shape. Next, we are going to continue with dz square. So I'm going to start drawing all axes first. We got 3 different axes. So we have x, y, and z, just like this one. And I label my z is here. Next, we are going to continue step 2. Draw 2 loops on z-axis. Only 2. So we have z-axis here. So starting from this center, we have to draw 2 loops, 1 and then 2. After that, step 3, you have to draw a donut ring at the center. So this is the center. We are going to draw donut ring. How to draw donut ring? We are going to start like this one, and another ring from here. So you can see this is 2 loops combined together make up the donut ring shape around the center of the nucleus. So last step, don't forget to shade and label my orbital. So I had labeled already. So I'm going to shade my orbital. this part for 2 loops, and this donut ring. So this is the drawing for dz square. Make sure the size for d is different from x square minus y square, and also different from z square. Now let's continue with the in-between shapes. There will be 3 different shapes here. So I'm going to label first. I have dxz, dyz, and dxy. So these 3 are my labeling. Hence, I'm going to draw one by one. Let's focus with dxz first. Step 1, I'm going to draw first 2 axes involved. Axes involved here only x and z. So let's draw x and z first. We have, here is x, here is z. And after that, I'm going to draw my loops in between axes. How many loops? I'm going to draw based on cloverleaf in between, around area here, here, and here. So you can see 4 area here in between the axes. So we have from the center 1 loop, 2 loop, 3, and 4. Don't forget to shade your orbital to indicate this area, the shading one, is where high probability of finding an electron. Next, we have one last step. You have to draw the last axis. Dalam case ini adalah y-axis. So I'm going to make sure y-axis must going through. So what does it mean by going through? One side dia akan berada di depan, and another one side dia akan berada di belakang. So in order to draw that, I'm going to show you it's coming from the front and goes to the back. So this is my y-axis going through the center of nucleus. Next, let's continue with the next drawing. I have dyz. Step dia masih lagi sama. So I'm going to draw the axis involved here, which will be y and z. So we have, this is for y and this is for z. Don't forget to label y and z. After that, draw in between 4 loops. Untuk cloverleaf, we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. And don't forget to shade your orbital. After that, the last step, you need to show the last axis. Dalam case ini adalah x-axis going through. So let's go from x coming from behind, passes through the front, like this one. So we have, this is x-axis. Settle for the drawing dyz. Let's go to the last drawing. I have dxy. So my 2 axes involved here only, x and y first. So let's draw the axis. This is x-axis and this is y-axis. After that, in between 4 loops from the center, 1, 2, 3, and last one, 4 loops here. Don't forget to shade. And after that, we are going to show the last axis. Dalam case ini adalah z-axis. So I'm going to show you coming through and then go behind the loop. So this is z-axis. So I hope you can understand how to draw in between shapes like these 3 for d orbital, or on axis shapes like these 2 for d orbital as well. So you have to practice a lot to get the right drawing, but the concept is still the same. Just follow the step of my drawing like I did here and here. So that's it for this video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.